this year starts your tradition. And
Right.
maybe it's a tradition of a favorite food. Maybe it's a recipe that you're going to
Start
pass
small.
down.
Start
you
small.
can start small. Maybe it's a special prayer you may say during your Thanksgiving meal. But a tradition is what you can create.
Right.
There's no law book or
Right.
rule book
Right.
on what is or is not a tradition.
Right.
And I think
Right.
that I want to encourage anybody out there today that maybe if you did not grow up in a family that had those traditions,
Right.
make it your goal to start that now.
Right. And it may be something that you get a little pushback on.
Yeah.
But keep
True.
trying.
Yeah.
Like, keep trying to find something. I mean, this is my thing is like, if you're trying something new in a family dynamic, you may get some resistance
Yeah.
on, why do we
Yeah.
have to do this?
Welcome to the Well Grounded Podcast. I am Diane.
And I am Leigh Ann.
And we are two lifelong friends sharing life over coffee and conversations. And here we are today in season 4. And this has been quite the journey.
Oh.
And just so exciting to see from back in May of 24 where we have come from and the episodes and just the stories we've been able to share and tell.
I know.
I have a really thankful heart today.
I know.
Yes.
Happy Thanksgiving week, everybody.
Yes.
We are so glad to be celebrating with you this week. Our episodes come out every other Monday, and it was really fun to see this on the calendar that we have an episode that we can celebrate Thanksgiving with you guys. 'Cause
It is,
that's
yeah.
very fitting for the theme of season 4.
It is very much. And we're so excited that all the things that have just come together in season 4 has just, we can tell that God is just anointing a lot of different paths for this season. And it's been really neat to watch.
I know our regulars get to hear this a lot,
Yes.
but we're just as amazed as everyone else when God puts the pieces together
Yeah.
for this and, what he lays on our hearts and
It's so fun.
and challenging us to go and look things up and
Yeah.
research and be prepared when we come in and have these conversations. But these are just the beginning conversations.
Yes.
So we start conversations here at Well Grounded, and we hope that you will continue that on either with us through direct messaging, through, commenting on posts.
You can find us. Make sure you're a part of our Instagram family and Facebook that you can follow along, because in between each episode, we do a lot of wonderful posts about just adding to the conversation that we've already talked about in an episode. And so whether we share about a latte moment or we share about our verses that we've used in an episode, or maybe it's a book that we shared, all of that kind of gets put back into those Instagram stories. And you want to make sure you're a part of that. So you need to follow us on Well Grounded Podcast on Instagram. We're also on TikTok and we're on Facebook. So make sure you check us out there.
Yes. And we do have that 2-week gap between episodes coming out. So you have time to watch and also share it with someone.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this was really a fun episode. I want to share it. So we are just thrilled to be celebrating Thanksgiving with you.
Yes.
And there's nothing more festive than the latte moment.
Yes,
So take it away, Diane.
So today's latte moment, and for those of you who are new, I'll just kind of give, because if you just joined us for season 4, latte moments are a lot of fun, a latte fun.
I'm waiting for you to.
So I know we're being
Nice.
patient here.
looks so good.
Today's latte moment is a cinnamon roll latte. All right, so let's all take a taste here.
Right
Let's
here.
look and see. All right. So
Oh, it's so good.
this,
sweet.
well, number 1, it's a very fall inspired drink. And number 2, it's extremely easy. So one of the things about today's recipe is this should all be in your pantry or in your fridge. Like I
That's
did not
nice.
have to go buy anything at the store.
That's nice.
Which sometimes
Some of these
when
latte
you want to
moments
be,
are challenging you.
yeah, when I go a little fancy on these, I might have to buy some supplies. And so this recipe is going to be in our show notes. But listen, it's so easy. You have cinnamon, you have milk, you have vanilla, you have sugar, and you have coffee. Like this was it. You probably do need to own a frother, because when you make a latte, you want to have that froth on top.
good.
And the other
Just
thing that was a
elevates it.
really neat thing about this is it said in the recipe to roast your cinnamon for about 2 minutes over low heat before you added it to the milk.
I can verify you really did this.
And I really did this. And what it does, if you're a cook and things out there, when you roast something, like if you roast almonds before you bake with them, or if you do something, it brings out the flavor. And so by doing that little bit of roasting, it really brings the flavor out. So I would verify that this does taste like cinnamon latte.
Oh, it's
cinnamon roll latte.
It's so good.
It does have a good flavor.
It's sweet. It's got the cinnamon flavors that gives you the fall feeling.
Yes.
It smells
great. So
great.
is the perfect week, everyone out there as listeners, to make this recipe, share it, and tag us, because we would love to see this. So maybe do this one of those mornings that you're together. Maybe your kids are home.
Thanksgiving morning together.
Yes. So
we definitely have coffee and breakfast.
Oh, yes.
While we're doing what? Watching.
Well Grounded.
And
watching. Watching
Thanksgiving morning. You better get your family and watch it.
Sorry.
I love it so much.
That one will have to be edited out. But
no,
that was good.
Don't edit that out. That is amazing. But I'm laughing because that's where our mindset is. I was queuing you up for this thing that we both love, which is a Thanksgiving tradition.
It is a Thanksgiving tradition that we both love. I was about to say you need to make sure you have cinnamon rolls with your cinnamon roll latte.
Yummy.
Because that would just be the perfect
adding that to the menu right now.
Combination. But
I love it.
So going into Thanksgiving Day, and we're wanting to think about today's episode on traditions and what are some of the things that we do that really are God honoring, are things that we can do for our families, for being together. Because sometimes getting together might be a little stressful if we have a big household and things, or a lot of personalities. But we want to really hone in on, as you know, this season, Psalm 100 is our verses, our theme
and chapter. It's only 5 verses, Psalm 100, but it is, instead of just doing one verse, we really felt like the whole psalm was a good representation of
the entire theme.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was
called to worship.
Always amazing how we come about that when we are praying for things and praying for God to just give us that great way of doing things and just inspiring us. And we both kind of really honed in
landed
on that away.
And it is such an inspirational, I don't use that to trivialize it. It just, in 5 verses, it just really is so, I don't know, motivating and
it is neat.
Points us to the Creator.
So today, with it being Thanksgiving week, verse 4 is the verse that we're kind of focusing on. And that says, enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and praise his name.
Love it.
So the perfect verse for a Thanksgiving week.
Yes.
And going about Thanksgiving, like you were queuing me up for
I was going to say, I just was going to have us, just before we get into maybe even some of the spiritual parallels of this holiday and the things that makes us think of this week, just for the fun.
Yeah.
What does Thanksgiving Day look like for you? Are you hosting? Who's there? Share with us a little bit.
Definitely for most of the years that I've had children, I would say for the last 10 to 15 years, I've been the hostess for Thanksgiving. And before, we would actually go to my parents' house when the kids were young, and my mom did host for Thanksgiving. And so that was always, we would go by the beach, and a lot of our Thanksgiving things, and we got to go to the beach on the holiday weekend and things, which you can't always do other places in the country.
Right.
But for myself, we do host Thanksgiving. It is one of my greatest joys to have all the family to come in, all the cousins, the aunts, everybody that we can have in to the house, and it's truly remarkable. So,
how early does menu planning start?
The funny thing,
or is it the same menu every year? And
it is pretty much the same menu, because I'm really a traditionalist on my Thanksgiving menu. I think my kids appreciate that. They kind of like knowing that they're going to get the stuffing recipe that they always get. So I kind of do that.
Don't break something that's not broken. Yeah, don't.
And my Thanksgiving flavors of food are actually pretty simplistic. I know some people can go a little gourmet. You can do some different things. And over the years, I definitely have branched out into maybe healthier versions of making some of these recipes, just trying to watch those kind of things. But overall, it's pretty traditional.
Awesome.
Yeah, how about you?
Well, we have a different story every year. We're the complete opposite of that. But depending on if we're with my parents or Dan's family, we had those same menus, similar menus, you know, because that's what that group did. But we live away from all of the family. So when the kids were growing up, we were traveling and we would rotate. We'd do Thanksgiving with one family, Christmas with the other that year, and then flip it the next year.
Okay.
So we were trying to coordinate with other siblings and all their families. So anyway, but just food wise, for me, the ideal Thanksgiving morning is a good breakfast, a slow morning.
Oh yeah.
It's like the really neat part of Christmas Day, Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
But without gifts and trying to coordinate all the unwrapping. So it's a little more focused on the people and the food and the, but I love a Macy's Day Parade. So I know that's something we both share.
Yeah.
So I would always watch that with my dad. I'm sure it's because my mom was doing a lot of the work growing up. And so we would be called in when our tasks were needed. Like you'd step out and be like, what did I miss in the parade? You know, so I love that. And then just family time together. We typically do the lunch. That's the big meal. So
that means you got to get up early.
We do. And you have to get up early or shift it a little bit, like have a brunchy and then maybe a 2:00 or something as soon as the food's ready. But my dad had like the legit smoker that the turkey went in and he was checking on it all through the night. It was like very, very serious. So we did not carry that on. Sorry, Dad. But yeah. So none of us are as dedicated, I think. You know, we are foodies, but not so much. But yeah, so it's really fun. It's more about the family and the rotation. And then our college football team plays the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Yes. So that's always a huge gathering. And sometimes my brothers and their families were all doing our own Thanksgivings, but we try to get together for Saturday for the Iron Bowl. So,
yes, that is very fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
But but back to God and the
well, I will share just a small story about one of my very most special Macy's Day parades because I was actually in the Macy's Day Parade.
I was shocked to hear this. How have I known you this many years?
I will have to find a picture and put this up on a story because
that's a very big claim to fame.
It is. And what was really funny about this time, well, it was in high school and my dance team was up there and we were part of a dance group in the Macy's Parade that had over 500 dancers. So couple really funny things about that. Number one is when I was up in New York City by myself, my entire family, even my grandparents, were all in Florida at Thanksgiving. And I was just like, how can that be? Like everybody else is there and I'm up in New York City. So that I thought was really funny. Number two,
that's funny.
They gave us these white puffy jackets that we had to wear everywhere we went. And it identified us in the city that we were with the Macy's Day Parade
it's like
dance group.
Like your pass.
Now, if you can imagine,
security pass.
You know, teenage girls walking around New York City with this white puffy, we look like clouds. Like it was, I'm not kidding. When I say puffy, like it was puffy jacket. And to this day, I'm like, we were literally targets everywhere we walked. I'm like going, this is crazy.
The high school girls are here.
The high school girls are here. And we had a lot of latitude that we could go. Like if we wanted to go to a coffee shop or if we wanted to go somewhere,
they
said you have to be, here for rehearsal. And then they did other things. Like we all went to the Statue of Liberty together.
Oh, fun.
And that was really great. And then we all went to Rockefeller Center and things. So it was a whole week. I actually was gone. So I left the Thursday before and then I got home, or Friday before, and then I got home the Friday after. So it was a truly remarkable, what I did learn, and I won't give away these secrets because everybody's magic of the Thanksgiving Day Parade may change, but I will just say that it's amazing, the orchestration of this event.
Huge.
We had to be on set or whatever by 4 a.m. of that parade, and the parade doesn't start till 9.
Yeah.
And all I remember is it was 32 degrees that morning.
And
we were dressed as toy soldiers, and that was not cutting it. We were freezing as Floridians.
Your white puffy jacket.
Yes, we could not wear our white puffy jackets, but it was truly a remarkable experience. So I thought I'd share that, and I'll put that in the stories because I think
that is priceless.
I think that some people might get a kick out of seeing Diane with big hair.
Yes, I know. 80s Diane.
80s Diane.
I love it. That's so priceless.
So fun.
Okay, that is next level because all of my Macy's memories are from my living room.
Yes,
so
I know. It is funny.
Who I was watching it with. But
yes.
That's amazing. Oh, that's so special. That's cool. So, Did you feel like y'all did the routine okay, even though you were
freezing?
Oh,
yes. Yeah, it was, and it was like over in 3 minutes. So we had a whole week of practice, a whole 5 hours of waiting, and in 3 minutes it was done. And I was like, that's it?
This is a really big life lesson, actually.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that might connect that to the Thanksgiving meal.
Oh, true. Right? You've cooked for hours. Yes. And then
it's like,
10 minutes.
Wow,
whoosh.
that's all you ate? Can I just sit with my plate? You know how moms
yes.
are all like, can I just sit with my plate for a minute?
I know. I usually do that. Like whenever I'm at the table I'm kind of one of the last ones to finish because I'm watching everyone enjoying the food and different things. And so I think that is a moment that I take.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. While we're on this roll about Thanksgiving, the meal itself, what are the family traditions to bring that spirit of Thanksgiving, that honoring God, being thankful for what he's given us, his provision, the family around the table? Like, what are some of the traditions that y'all do?
We have a few, and one of the things years ago, my good friend Amy, I'll give a shout out to Amy, started a book. We did this actually way back in our MOPS group, which is Mothers of Preschoolers. Yes. And so it was a craft idea. And those of you that are listening on Spotify won't be able to see this, but if you're on YouTube, you can see this thankful journal that it's just a little notebook. And we just did, it's just notebook paper and things. But in this journal, it has every year there is a message that says, thanks be to God for his indescribable gift. Yes. And so I ask everybody that attends our Thanksgiving dinner to write in this journal.
Love it.
And I pass the book around. It's sometimes at the table. Sometimes it's just on the coffee table, but I really impress upon anybody. If you're sitting at my table for Thanksgiving, you've got to write in this book.
I love it.
And so it does say that this
size. It's like not huge. Yes. It's not like this huge notebook either.
I will be sad when we stop pages, but we're only about halfway through, and everybody does write. And what I love is watching like the handwriting, the different things of people and stuff. But then also
or even older people.
This was actually started in 2011. Oh. So I've been carrying this around. I think there was 1 year that I forgot it because sometimes we do travel for Thanksgiving.
Right,
and so I think I did forget it, but it is truly reading the messages. And I love when I watch people writing in it because you can tell they're really contemplating.
Yes.
What are they thankful for? What are they stopping and pausing, like we even said in season 3, that time to have that rest and that pause in your life.
Right.
Just to think about, what am I thankful for?
Right. And you get that. I've done a similar thing. I'm not as organized and as consistent as you, Diane, but my heart is there. So I just found it recently too, from one of the years that we had some family here with us, and we did it more of like one little poster board and everybody wrote on it, and we used it kind of to decorate with the kids and stuff, like put it on the fridge or hang it up somewhere. And I noticed that about the handwriting. My mother-in-law was there that year, and we don't always have family in town. Like we went to them more. And so I knew we did this here at our home, and just the little kid handwriting and then the older the grandmother handwriting. It was just a really sweet, like her cursive and stuff. So but really it just brought that every time I see that or look at those photos or bring that up, it brings that new sense of gratitude in that. But it's the same idea with journaling that we talk about, is something about the pen to paper.
Yeah, definitely.
And what it does in your mind and in your heart to say, I'm taking this seriously.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to think about this and go ahead and do that. And so with the littles, they can do it like a little, you can do crafts with them, and that's so fun. But just to keep that in front of them, it's easy to find people complaining about the commercialization of the holidays. And I agree that can be, some of those things are fun and some of those things are big distractions. But something like this, that's actually a heart, a head, a hand connection.
It's really
getting all three of those. So we love alliteration around here.
I know.
So
yes.
I threw that one out for you, friend.
Thank you. I love it.
Heart.
I definitely, thinking back to for some of those day of traditions, we always wait and make our apple pie the day of. And it's actually, we make it during the parade. So, the parade is like 3 hours long.
Smells good too.
And we have a later dinner. So the pie goes in the oven actually before the turkey. So that's kind of the way it goes in the house.
Is everyone grazing on hors d'oeuvres all day and stuff? Like, or
we
how do you
probably
do lunch?
have like a big charcuterie kind of, meats and cheeses kind of thing at
to get you
like
through
1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Get you through the day.
Yeah.
Because that was always my thing, was like getting these
cider.
kids fed. And
we usually make a nice pot of apple cider. Even in the warm weather, we'll do that just because it just makes you
turn
feel
that
like
AC up and just enjoy it.
Definitely.
Put that sweater on for that photo. I know.
It's all good.
It is.
So nice. But that smell, like you said, those aromas, I think that's one of the things that does connect us as well.
Yeah.
With a tradition is you remember like the food in the kitchen. You remember making something with your grandmother. You remember doing something where you can connect the head to the heart.
Right.
And I truly believe that that's what God wants us to do.
Exactly.
And that is an act of worship.
Right.
That is the way that we can live out a life of worship every day, and especially on a holiday. I think that's a great way.
I want to share, we have a couple of things we wanted to make sure that we covered today, but I wanted to share really quickly that hospitality and because I would say even the two of us, like, a more sticking to that same menu or that structure or that same traditions, that's incredible. But also, if you're more, I need to change it up every year, which I didn't realize I was like this, but my children have told me, Mom changes it up every single year. But the people are the same, and the continuity is the same, and the focus on the Lord is the same. It's just the way we might express that, like whether we're going out or whether we're hosting or whether we're traveling or whatever. Yeah. So just to be with family. But hospitality is a gift from the Lord. We're going to share these in the show notes and things, but practicing, the Bible says to practice hospitality.
True.
To be able to think about someone else.
Yeah.
It forces you to think beyond, what do I want today? What is my favorite thing?
Absolutely.
But to do that. And a lot of times, not always, that is the mom in the family. Hopefully you and your husband or one of your children could be be partner with you to take this on and to keep those traditions going and to keep that focus on the Lord. And I'm looking this up because I saved it on my phone, but there is a thing called kinkeeping.
Yes, I love this idea.
So I first heard about this from Corey Robertson. Willie and Corey were on Duck Dynasty, you know them. But the definition of kinkeeping, I looked it up to kind of verify if this was just her thing, but it is kind of going around now, is it's a form of invisible labor. Isn't that the ultimate mom and, definition?
Right there.
There's so much that goes on that maybe isn't noticed as much, but it's dedicated to family bonding. It's dedicated to creating memories. It's an act of maintaining and strengthening family ties. So you've probably, if you've hung out with us for the last year, we talk about this a lot, but I would say one of the many goals that we have for this podcast and this time together is to show the value in that and not to lose those traditions.
As your kids age, as they go, maybe they're in different locations now, and it's very hard. Like right now, my daughter is in Italy. She's still there. So she's not going to be here for a family dinner, but we're going to make sure that we include her maybe in a FaceTime call. Maybe there's different ways that we can include her.
And that constant, whether they've gone away to college or whether
they're married.
They're married and living in another state. Boo-hoo. But trying to be like keeping that home base and that continuity, that this matters, and keeping that so that whoever can attend and be a part of that you've got that coming and going. But anyway, kinkeeping, we're going to be sharing some more resources on this. I'm going to keep looking into it, but it's also just to acknowledge that that's a very important part of family life. It's an important part of continuing those traditions.
It's good. And something I want to encourage everyone right now is if you are not a traditionalist and if you have not had those traditions, maybe it's not something that was passed on to you.
You never grew up with that.
You can start this year.
Right.
This year starts your tradition. And maybe it's a tradition of a favorite food. Maybe it's a recipe that you're going to pass down. You can start small. Maybe it's a special prayer you may say during your Thanksgiving meal. But a tradition is what you can create.
Right.
There's no law book or rule book on
Right.
what is or is not a tradition. And I think
Right.
that I want to encourage anybody out there today that maybe if you did not grow up in a family that had those traditions,
Right.
make it your goal to start that now.
Right. And it may be something that you get a little pushback on,
Yeah.
but keep
True.
trying.
Yeah.
Like keep trying to find something. I mean, this is my thing is like, if you're trying something new in a family dynamic, you may get some resistance on why do we have to do this, or why do we have to write in the notebook, or why do we have to, but honestly.
Oh, I got plenty of eye rolls about writing in the notebook all the time. I did that every year. I was like, well, you're still doing it.
But it's also this treasured thing that you have now, right? And so from one year to the next, there's this continuity, and that we're not devaluing the importance of this. That's what's neat about the kinkeeping and just acknowledging that this is something that bonds families together, is the organizer. The person, one of the examples that I was reading about was trying to celebrate the great grandmother's birthday. And it was hard to get everybody together, and they just did a cupcake and went to her house. They live locally together, but they went by her house at 4:00 in the afternoon to just give her a cupcake and all be there for 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
It's those kinds of things, like what you mentioned with the journal or going around the table. Some people, it's a verbal thing.
Yeah.
We go around the table and we say what we're thankful for.
Yeah.
It seems so small, praying before a meal.
Yeah.
Maybe your family's not doing that right now, and you need to start doing that. Like you want to speak up and say, I think we should pause and pray.
That's so good.
Those are things that in former generations, they were normal, like check, but we have lost that a lot of times, and we're here at Well Grounded to fight for it.
Yes.
So,
and
in the best way.
we are your biggest encouragers for it. And
that's
things.
right.
And
that's right.
Leigh Ann, what would you say is something that for you, with a holiday, being together with family or not being together, how does worship factor into that for you?
Absolutely.
Like, how do you feel that God plays a part in that, and that moment in time can be that act of worship?
Yes. Well, for me, there's no point without it. Like, to me, emphasizing that in my own life, in my own heart, and with the people that I have any influence on at all, whether that's family or friends, if it's not about God, and if it's not about stopping and pausing this week, particularly this Thanksgiving week, I mean, it's the clearest thing we have to just honor God and be grateful.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of anxiousness in our culture right now.
Yeah.
We have an epidemic of it in our kids' age group and their peers. And one of the anecdotes that counselors will tell you that people, to fight depression, to fight anxiety, is acknowledging what you're thankful for.
Having a heart of gratitude.
Yes.
Really.
And just because you say, look at all the good things I have going on in my life. I have a lot of hard, but I also have so much good. And so when we talk about being called to worship, we think about the what all that entails.
Yeah.
And this week is a great time to just say, we've been called, we've been given this gift of so many things from God. And so all we have to do is go back and thank him.
There's a lot of songs out there too about gratitude and giving thanks. I mean, if you put that in your Spotify search or in your Apple Music search, you'll come up with so many different songs. But one song that's particularly just always resonates with me is Brandon Lake's Gratitude. And I think that every time I hear that song, the way that song crescendos and develops, it makes your heart almost crescendo and develop as well. I just love how that song does that. And that's to me kind of like the Thanksgiving week as well. You start out and you probably have your to-do list and everybody's coming in, going out, everything is that. And then by that Thanksgiving morning, you sit down, you relax, and you give thanks, and you can just be there with a grateful heart.
That's right. I love it. That's great. And that song will be on our playlist.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
It's already on our playlist by the time you see this. Yes. So we are just so grateful. We say this a lot, but
grateful.
We're just so grateful for that. We're going to share some more details and look for some posts this week as we celebrate Thanksgiving together. It's a national holiday, but it's also for Christians, for believers. It is a really incredible thing to acknowledge where we've come from, what so much that we have to be grateful for. So lots of great verses on this.
And we're going to share our Psalm 100.
Yes.
I know that, you know, it's meaning a lot more each and every time that we read this and things. But I'm going to go and share that right now. And then we're going to be closing today's episode. It's gone so fast.
Yes.
Psalm 100 verse 1 says, "Shout for joy to the Lord, all the earth. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful songs. Know that the Lord is God. It is he who made us, and we are his. We are his people, the sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and praise his name. For the Lord is good, and his love endures forever. His faithfulness continues through all generations." And at Well Grounded, that's exactly what we want to emphasize and just encourage you with. So be encouraged,
be refreshed,
and stay well grounded.